Revolver Ocelot here, and today I'm going to be doing my very late NXT Takeover San Antonio review. I've literally only just finished the NXT title match. It's February 2nd, so I'm a couple of days late. I do apologise. I've had a really bad cold, a really bad headache, we can say. And I just haven't had the time. I'm back at uni now. I was back on Tuesday and I've been back in today. But now I have finished the whole show and I can give you my thoughts on the 5-match card. As far as in comparison to the Rumble, I think this year the Rumble did a lot better. And I think that's what everybody seems to think. Just out off the top of my head, I think Dave Meltzer was a huge fan of the Rumble this year. And, you know, I think he gave the Reigns Owens match of 4.5 stars. I gave it 4. And then he gave 4 3/4 to Cena and Styles, which is the highest rated WWE match on Pro Fight Club in quite some time. So kudos to those two guys. Do I agree? Yes, I do think NXT San Antonio was not as good as the Royal Rumble. And there's not a lot of times where the main roster are going to up the guys down in NXT, but this is one of those times where they did. This was not a bad show, but it definitely wasn't as good as the Rumble, and that's so we're going to get right into it. Our opening contest was Ty Dillinger against Eric Young. Eric Young was, of course, accompanied by Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane, Big Dame out of Sanity. Nikki Cross was, of course, not with them. She was preparing for the NXT Women's title match. This was a pretty good little matchup here. I did enjoy it. Ty Dillinger was so over, and I knew the night after this he had to be in the Royal Rumble at number 10. He was so over. The crowd loved him so much. The 10-10-10 chants ringed all night for every ring out count, every pinfall. It was awesome. It's so awesome to see a crowd get behind a guy like they have, Ty Dillinger. A guy who has not been given all the opportunities, kind of like Daniel Bryan, but has skill, has quality, has quirks that really allow his character to envelop and really take an audience over and really become one of the most over guys in NXT. So good job for Ty Dillinger. Pretty good little matchup here. Dillinger spent a lot of it taking out Wolf and Killian Dane of Sanity. Sanity, of course, got involved. Killian Dane gave Dillinger a huge crossbody on the outside, bigger than the Bray Wyatt crossbody chops that he does. Just a huge crossbody, just killing Ty Dillinger. Young dominated a little bit more on the matchup. Elbow drop from Eric Young. Dillinger eventually, after Alexander Wolf came in, hit him with a tiebreaker, would eventually hit Eric Young with a tiebreaker, but Alexander Wolf would put his leg on the bottom rope. Good spot there. Dillinger would then take out both Dane and Wolf with a springboard crossbody to both, then take them both out of a double drop kick. As he tried to skin the cat back into the ring, Eric Young caught him in the wheelbarrow neckbreaker, also called the Youngblood. For the 1-2-3, Eric Young beats Ty Dillinger. That was my prediction. Obviously, I didn't predict the show, but I did think Eric Young would win here, sending Ty Dillinger into the Rumble and probably to the main roster. He hasn't appeared on SmackDown or Raw yet, so maybe not. Maybe we'll get him closer to Mania, but a pretty good little match here. 3.25 stars, good way to open the show. Then we had my most anticipated match, because of the workers, not because of the bill, just because of the workers. Roderick Strong against Andrade Cien Almas. So this was Strong's first takeover match, and Strong is one of the very best wrestlers in the world. His Ring of Honor stuff, you know, it's all great. The stuff with Ishii, you know, he's had some great matches in Ring of Honor. And this match here with Andrade, I thought could be a great 4-star match. And while I thought it was a very good match in the end, a good back and forth, Andrade was very good here. One of the best, probably the best performance Andrade's ever had. He just a little bit didn't quite meet my expectations, sadly. I did think it was still a very good match. I went 3.5 stars. In terms of action that happened, Strong kept trying the knee. Andrade kept trying the hammerlock DDT. Eventually got the double knees in the corner. I love the spot where he goes for the double knees in the corner and then just slaps him. Such a cool spot. It's such a heat magnet for Andrade as a heel, and he's such a better heel than he was a babyface. In the end, Strong finally caught Andrade with the big knee and then catches him with a sick kick. 1-2-3. Strong wins in his NXT Takeover debut. Booked perfectly. Strong is moving into the NXT title picture, I imagine, along with maybe Cassius Ohno, who of course has appeared at the NXT TV tapings. Spoilers. So yeah, I think Ono and Rude, who of course wins the NXT title, which I'll get to later, could be good. So I gave the match 3.5 stars. Very good match, but just didn't quite meet my expectations. Moving on, talking about a match that overshot my expectations. DIY against the Authors of Pain. And why should this really why should my expectations have been shocked? This is the DIY match. DIY are such a fucking good tag team, but the thing is, they're against the Authors of Pain. And the Authors of Pain are a fine team, but they just haven't got that quality yet that really... I think they've got great presence and great stage presence, but in terms of ability, they're not quite there yet. So when they, put this match on, I was enamoured, I was focused, I enjoyed every second. The tag team stuff was great. They cut off Gargano and Ciampa at times, of course, and then a hot tag. Tommaso Ciampa, the hot tag was insane. He came in, took out both men, German to one, German to the other. Awesome stuff. Tommaso Ciampa was insane in this matchup. There was a point in it where they had a callback to the Takeover Toronto Revival match where both men, Gargano and Ciampa, locked in their submissions. There was the bridging armbar from Ciampa. The Gargano escaped from Gargano, and the Authors of Pain just looked at each other and they were like, don't tap out, don't tap out. But in the end, one of them escaped and powerbombed Johnny Gargano on top of Tommaso Ciampa. And towards the end of the matchup, the two men set up the super kick knee combo on both Authors of Pain. Both Authors of Pain picked them up in the powerbomb position, hit the super collider, which is the powerbomb collide, and then the powerbomb. And then finally, they hit the last chapter on Tommaso Ciampa. 1, 2, 3. The Authors of Pain are the new NXT Tag Team Champions. I love DIY to death. They'll probably get a rematch at the tapings coming up, but I don't really know where we're going for Orlando. Maybe Revival get a match. That's what I've seen at the tapings, but Revival at AOP could be good, as I'm saying. I mean, this match blew my expectations out of the water. 4 stars, great match. DIY can work wonders with any team. Really happy with this matchup. Although Authors of Pain as the new tag champs is, I love DIY to bits, so it makes me a little bit sad. And then we had Seth Rollins on the NXT show. He wasn't on the Royal Rumble at all, and that's because he was on this show. He came out, he called out Triple H. This all made logical sense. Triple H is the godfather of NXT. He's going to be there. So Triple H comes out, Rollins calls out Triple H. Triple H comes out, sends out security, and they take down Seth Rollins. Solid angle. I feel like, and I think Dave Meltzer said this as well, I feel like Rollins should have gotten a little more on Triple H, considering he wasn't on the Rumble at all. And then on Raw, he got beat up by Samoa Joe, obviously, and of course he's now injured. But I feel like Rollins maybe should have got a little bit more, maybe just one punch on Triple H. But whatever. It was really, really good stuff though. It was great at blending this fact that these two rosters are, they do lead to each other. And it was a great callback for Rollins to go to NXT. And it was a very cool moment. NXT Women's Title Fatal 4-Way. Asuka defends against Nikki Cross, Billie Kay, and Peyton Royce. Pretty good little match. I've seen people kind of, not crap on this, but not particularly like it. I think Dave Meltzer didn't really like it, but I thought this was pretty good. They obviously teased Nikki Cross and Asuka, but never really let them fully flourish. Obviously, Peyton and Billie kept coming in and attacking them, making sure that they couldn't do anything. And in the end, Peyton and Billie kept working together. They have copied Jericho and Owens' gimmick, which is a little bit disappointing to me. But they were still pretty good in this matchup. Some good stuff from all 4 women, really. Not a lot of near falls, though. A great near fall off the Widow's Peak from Peyton Royce and Asuka, which was one of the best near falls of the night. But, not a lot of real tension in this matchup, which made me sad. I did predict Asuka, and I just thought there's no chance Asuka's losing to anybody but Ember Moon. And that's probably the match for Orlando from the TV tapings. In the end, in this matchup, Nikki Cross was double superplexed by Billie Kay and Peyton Royce off an announce table through a table, and then they both went back to the ring. They tried to take out Asuka with the double team, where Peyton shoves the opponent's head into Billie's knee. That got countered when Asuka kicked the head off Billie Kay, then kicked the head off Peyton Royce, and then kicked Billie Kay in the head again. 1, 2, 3. Asuka retains. I went 3.25 stars. I thought it was, again, pretty good little matchup. Not as good as some other NXT Takeover Women's matches, obviously, but Asuka's had a really good reign as champ. And if Ember Moon is the one to take the belt off her, that's perfect. That makes perfect sense, because then Ember Moon can dominate the division, and we can have, Nikki Cross and Ember Moon could be a really good match. Apparently at house shows, Asuka, Nikki Cross, and Ember Moon have been having really good triple threat matches. So that's something I'd like to see at some point. But yeah, 3.25 stars, really good stuff from those women. And then we have the main event, NXT title, Glorious Bobby Roode, who had an awesome entrance. He came out of a bunch of women. It was very Ric Flair-esque. And then Nakamura came out on this car, which made it look like he was sliding. Very cool stuff from him as well. This was a great match. The first really, I know the AOP match and DOI was 4 stars, but this was a really awesome match. This first really awesome match on the show, and everything, the selling from Nakamura, especially after, the beginning of this match was very slow, and the first half is good stuff, but it's not quite great. It's from the point where Nakamura hits a short running knee to the face of Bobby Roode, and Bobby Roode kicks out. It's a short running knee, but it's really a Kinshasa. Roode kicks out and then rolls onto the apron, where Nakamura gives him a Kinshasa to his, more of his elbow and his arm than his head, really. But he gives him a Kinshasa, and then he injures his knee, and he sells it so well. He kind of crushes it on the apron, but he sells it so well. He gets in the ring, and he holds it, and he gives him a Kinshasa with that knee. And I was like, oh, shit, please sell it. And he sells it again so well. He holds the knee. He can't make the cover on Bobby Roode. He ends up actually rolling out of the ring, and the trainers are called in, and they tease a referee stoppage. Awesome stuff. This last couple of minutes was so good. It It reminded me of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn when Owens beat Zayn for the belt. How good the last couple of minutes of that was. Nakamura's there, he's holding his knee, and the referee comes out, and the trainers come out, and they're like, we've got to stop this. And Nakamura's like, no, I'm fine, I can do it, don't worry. I do just want to say, a really cool near fall for Bobby Roode off a backstabber. Back to what I was talking about. That backstabber near fall was really, really good. Unbelievable, actually. So Nakamura's like, no, I'm fine, I can do it, I can get in. So he gets in, and Bobby Roode immediately goes for him, picks him up, glorious DDT. Roode had this time while Nakamura's been injured to heal off this Kinshasa, although he shows a little bit dazed still. Pins Nakamura off this glorious DDT, 1, 2, kick out, best kick out of the night. Such a believable near fall. The crowd absolutely popped. They didn't see that kick out happening. Bobby Roode was like, oh my god, how did he kick out of the glorious DDT? Nobody does that. It's a fucking DDT. At least it's an impaler, so there's a lift on it and there's a little bit more impact, but it's a fucking impaler DDT. So after that, he locks him in a Boston Crab because psychology, that makes sense. Locks him in a Boston Crab. Nakamura is screaming in pain, starts punching the knee of Nakamura. Nakamura goes to reach the ropes, nearly gets it. Roode pulls him back. Nakamura turns him round, goes for a Hell's Gate, goes for a triangle, but injures the knee whilst going for it, holds his knee. Roode picks him up again. Glorious DDT. 1, 2, 3. The last couple of minutes of this matchup was one of the best matches I've seen all year. But overall, I have to give the match 4.25 stars. And I'd really like to give it more, because I really loved the last few minutes. The last few minutes was some of the most brilliant, perfectly done wrestling I've seen this year. I've seen some amazing stuff, obviously Omega, Naito, and Omega Okada, Naito, Tanahashi, Cena Styles, all that stuff. This was so good the last couple of minutes. And it made Nakamura look like such a champ and such a fighter. And it protected him, and he doesn't look one bit weak. So, in the end, though, Bobby Roode, second glorious DDT, is the new NXT champion. 4.25 stars, as I just said, and that is the NXT Takeover San Antonio show. In the end, I'm going to give the show an 8 out of 10. Good show, really good show. I love the main event, and I thought that the AOP DIY match was so much better than it had any right to be. And then the other 3 matches were pretty good, to very good. So that's NXT Takeover San Antonio. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Raw Slot. Like, comment, subscribe for more. I will be back in 2 weeks or a week with my Elimination Chamber review. Of course, we know the 6 men in it now. It will be John Cena, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, The Miz, Bray Wyatt, and... oh my god, who's the last person? John Cena, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, The Miz, Bray Wyatt, and Dean Ambrose, the Lunatic Fringe. We also know that Naomi will face Alexa Bliss on that show, and there will be a tag team turmoil match for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship between American Alpha, The Ascension, Heath Slater and Rhino, the Usos, and the Vaudevillains. Meh. SmackDown's tag division is very meh. Raw's tag division's a lot better than SmackDown's, but American Alpha, so yay. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. This has been rather slot. Like, comment, subscribe for more. I apologise for this review being up late. Tell me your thoughts. What did you think to NXT Takeover San Antonio? What did you think to the main event? What did you think to Bobby Roode being the NXT champion? Who do you think his opponent at NXT Orlando will be? What do you think about the NXT Women's title picture? Who do you think will be facing Ember Moon? Sorry. Who do you think will be facing Asuka? NXT Takeover Orlando. Could it be Ember Moon or could it be Nikki Cross? Because they really did tease it in that matchup. Thanks for watching, guys. It has been Revolver Russell.